afternoon. Our two featured games today are Derby County against Luton and Arsenal v Coventry. In between, though, with a thought for England as well as Southampton, whose current form is as good as any, we check on the progress of Kevin Keegan since his return from injury. And unlike last month, there's a crop of outstanding goals in today's Goal of the Month competition. All in all, it's non-stop action of fine quality.
My news today includes Liverpool's reaction to their first home defeat for 3 years, a transfer triangle involving Norwich, Manchester City and Seattle Sounders, and the latest twist on the future of Justin Fashanu.
Well, let's start the action with our game from the second division, Derby County against Luton. And I suppose they're both just on the fringe of the promotion zone and could make Division 1 with an inspired burst. But promotion or not, they've both proved on more than one occasion that they know how to entertain. And yesterday was no exception. Your commentator, John Watson.
Kevin Hector, 36 years old, and in his second spell with Derby County, holds the aggregate record for league goals among current players. His total of 262 is confirmed today in the club's own newspaper, and he needs just one more to make it 150 in Derby colours. Hector, playing these days in midfield, is one of 3 players in this unchanged Derby side who played in the famous First Division Championship days. The others are number 4, Steve Powell, and number 5, Roy McFarland. 2 players missing through suspension, Alan Ramage and David Swindlehurst. Luton are forced to make 2 changes, Mark Azelwood and Tony Grealish both injured, so Wayne Turner gets his first game of the season at number 4, although he'll play left back, and Lil Fucillo at number 10 gets his second game of the season in midfield. And a nice welcome back today for the Derby manager Colin Addison, who's been away from the club for 6 weeks with an attack of shingles. Referee David Allison of Lancaster. 2 clubs here, Luton wearing the orange shirts and Derby in white, who know that 2 points today would put them bang in the promotion picture. Derby are 1 point behind second place, and Luton are 2 points behind Derby at the start of this match. That's Alan Bailey, who's modelled himself on Dennis Law and looks very much like him. Fucillo with the throw for Luton. On by West. It's Keith Osgood. Roy McFarland looking for Hector. Wilson driven across by Steve Powell to Ensign. This is Wilson. Bailey. And that was Barry Powell. Delivered first of all by Ensign, Bailey getting in a touch, and the ball coming on the volley to number 7, Barry Powell, but high and wide. Here's Godfrey Ingram to Ricky Hill, offside against Fucillo. Just keep an eye on Ricky Hill, number 7 for Luton. Very talented player in midfield. Looking for Wilson. In the way was Donaghy for Luton. Wilson's challenge, a good one. There's Buckley, former Luton player. And it was Buckley who was fouled by Steen. Bailey on. Away by Price. Wilson is in there with the overhead kick. Oh, I say, what a fantastic goal by Kevin Wilson. Beautifully taken. Bailey flicked the ball on. Paul Price with the header out. And an overhead kick by Kevin Wilson makes it 1-0 to Derby. And this young man, signed from Southern League Banbury for £10,000 last season. That gives him 5 goals in the last 11 games. And he won't have enjoyed one any more than that, I'm sure. Wilson only playing because of the suspension of Swindlehurst, but if he finishes like that, he'll have a regular place. That was Donaghy. Really was a piece of true continental skill, that. Looks for Wilson. Lucillo, Moss. Looking for Hill on the far side. And now is Kevin Hector for Derby. Biley making himself a target. Nice layoff too from the centre forward to Paul Empson. Really nice touch by Alan Biley, that. Hector. That's good. Emery. Harry Powell. Emery's ball in. Here's Barry Powell again. Oh, here's Wilson again. Shot was blocked by Price. Back in by Steve to offside. Offside Hector. But Kevin Wilson played a part again. In fact, he put Derby one up last week at Bolton early in the game, in the very first minute on that occasion, and Derby lost 3-1. He'll be hoping that today's goal starts them off onto something rather better. That one from Hector was disallowed for offside. Donaghy. Stevens. Chance here for England to go on. Well, a slip in the Derby defence, and Godfrey Ingram, who's been in such good scoring form recently, would have hoped to have hit the target from there. Just beginning to fulfil the potential now, Ingram, that he showed as a 15-year-old England schoolboy international. That was good. So it'll be Emery to take the kick for Derby. Away by Hill as far as Powell. Hector. Empson. Wilson's flick on. Oh, that comes in the end to Osgood. Barry Powell is... Oh. Well, what could have been a second goal for Derby could even on the break end up as an equaliser for Luton. Here's Steed. Looking for Ingram, it came off Steve Powell, who made tremendous strides to get back. It was curious, that last Derby attack, because Keith Osgood was coming in on the cross, and I think Biley's deflection may have actually taken it away from him. At half-time, Derby lead by 1-0, and what a goal it was. Scored by Kevin Wilson, and when Match of the Day last came here, we saw a spectacular effort from Ian Edwards of Wrexham. Well, today we've seen another brilliant goal, this time by Kevin Wilson of Derby County. So Derby start the second half. Luton, in fact, have taken 5 points from their last 3 away games. We're hoping to keep that sequence going, but they'll have to do so by coming from behind if they achieve it. Here's Hill. Had a good first half, Ricky Hill, and he was impeded there. David Pleat, the Luton manager, done well with this squad over the last couple of seasons, but hoping to see them make the important promotion push now. Luton were pacemakers for much of last year in the top 3 and finished 6th. Here's Emery. Here's Steve Powell. Barry Powell. Barry Powell to Bailey. And spinning awkwardly off Price for the corner. It'll be Barry Powell to take the kick. Awkward Osgood on, and a volley by Bailey, and comes off the line. And Luton had men back, for which you give them credit, in the right place to block it, but Bailey will feel unlucky. Keith Osgood at the near post flicked it on. Bailey met it on the full, but the cover was there. And Colin Addison must be feeling his side could so easily have been 2 goals up. Important that Derby don't let their grip on this match slacken, because Luton have shown already that they've got the ability to come forward and do something about it. This is Ricky Hill. Steen. Stevens. McFarlane to Ensign. Bailey. Hector is just inside it. Taking a break on the right was Barry Powell. That was who Hector was looking for. Instead, it's Luton with Moss. Steen. West. Hill trying to return it to Steen. Ingram's come near post. McFarlane didn't make it, deflects, it's got in! Moss's shot, deflected past the goalkeeper. David Moss will claim it. There was a deflection, but it's 1-1. Steen who put the cross in first. It came free to David Moss, who struck it, and it immediately hit a Derby foot. It may have been Emery, but it certainly flew past Jones, and that's 1-1. And Luton back in business early in the second half. Hector. Empson. Powell. Wilson turning it in. Steve Powell, Buckley. McFarlane. Empson. Buckley, McFarlane, Bailey leaning a little bit there. This is Alan West. And over on the left wing, David Moss, turning on the kind of form in the last few minutes that made him Luton's top scorer last season. He's found Steen. Ensign. Now McFarlane. And it's Ensign again. There are 3 waiting in the centre for a cross. Bailey gets up. Donaghy away. Then it was Steve Powell. Now it's Moss. Oh, and well turned on by Steen. And Steen could get the return here. Offside. Steen played the first ball into Fucillo. When he went for the return, he was offside. Here's Roy McFarlane. Oh, given away by Keith Osgood, and it could be... Oh. It's Ingram through the centre, and a chance here for Luton. It's Godfrey Ingram, and it's 2-1. 56 minutes gone, and Luton have turned the match round. And that was a dreadful mistake by Keith Osgood. He gave the ball away in a critical area of the field, and he gave it away to David Moss. Moss played a superb ball across into the path of Godfrey Ingram, and Ingram finished in style. In fact, that's Ingram's 5th goal in 9 matches, and Luton now are 2-1 in front, and David Moss has been involved in both goals. And we might be seeing a shift here in the second division promotion picture, or will Derby come again with Barry Powell? Bailey, twice away. Here's Emery, and now it's Barry Powell, and Barry Powell again. Bailey. Hector far post, it's there! 2-2 now. Barry Powell and Bailey combining on the right. The ball played to the far post, and Kevin Hector up with the defenders, and 2-2. And Hector gets his 150th league goal for Derby County, and the 263rd of his league career. We've got here now a second division game which has really come to life. Oh, well played, Barry Powell. Alan Bailey. Awkward for Findlay. Well, whether he looks like Dennis Law or Rod Stewart or whoever you like, he's a handful for any defence. Bailey all over the place, twisting and turning, and causing the goalkeeper there another moment of anxiety, although maybe he looks back and would have preferred the cross to have been pulled further back. Farland, Steve Buckley to Ensign. That's a good ball to Bailey. And it was Price who challenged him, and I wonder if that's a foul. Farland's up there, Steve Powell's up there. Bailey! The goalkeeper just hung on. Otherwise, Wilson would have scored. But Farland up there first, Steve Powell in there, Bailey's volley, and it's a good thing Findlay held that, because look where Wilson was, just waiting to snap up the rebound. That's Emson. Very good skill from Godfrey Ingram. Little ball chipped into West. Moss is out on the left wing, and that could spell trouble for Derby. It nearly did. This fellow strikes the ball so well, and Roger Jones was down smartly at his near post. Steam. Oh, and Wilson's in here. Wilson for Derby. Can he do it? Oh, brilliant! No, it's not! Oh, everything was right. He done it too often. He'd beaten everybody, and he put it wide. 19-year-old Kevin Wilson deserves applause in the first place, and he's getting it. There was a defensive error. He cashed in, pulled the defender once, twice he went round them, and somehow contrived to put it wide of the post. What a good match. Steve Powell, Hector. What a great turn by Kevin Hector. But he couldn't have just got the cross right. McFarlane for Derby. They're running up front well. And Hector's in here for Derby. Can he finish it? Oh, good block. Good block by the defender and the goalkeeper. Price picks himself up. It was his interception, Paul Price, the number 6, which stopped Hector from scoring. Findley's punch, good one too as far as length goes. They're coming tearing out now, looking for the offside. They haven't got it. Empson. Oh, you've got 7 players in there. If Luton break out, this could go 3-2 either way at the moment. Foul by Wayne Turner on Steve Emery. Well, just for a few minutes, it's like the early 70s here at the baseball ground. The crowd responding to a fine match. Here's Keith Osgood, here's Steve Emery with the shot. Well worth an effort from there too by the former Hereford player, Steve Emery. And here's Brian Steen for Luke. Good ball, Moss. Cuchillo's over on the left wing. This is still Moss, Steen, and Moss unable to collect the return. And Emery for Derby. Empson, we're in the last minute of normal time. And there won't be much time for stoppages because the game just doesn't seem to stop. Hector. Osgood. Number 2, Emery. Oh, good running by Barry Powell. Look at the space he found, and nearly an own goal by Paul Price. Well, that would have absolutely capped a match in which you don't know what's coming next. David Pleat blowing with relief, I should think, that the game is nearly over. It's a manager's nightmare, but it's a delight for the crowd. And as the referee blows and the crowd applaud, if we saw games like that every week, in terms of entertainment, they'd pack the grounds again. Because this match, for the neutral, had just about everything. So many goal-scoring chances. Derby, with Kevin Wilson scoring a goal which may be a contender for goal of the season. And funnily enough, we saw one earlier on this ground this season, scored by Edwards of Wrexham, which was in the same category. Luton then went ahead, and Derby came back again with the final score, 2-2, and everybody getting their breath back.
Well, that result keeps both teams in touch with the leaders. The top 3 all did well, but perhaps Notts County's win at Sheffield Wednesday was the most spectacular, because West Ham's 5-0 win over Preston only underlined that they're in a different class from the rest. Grimsby and Blackburn also won, leaving Swansea and Sheffield Wednesday as the only losers in the top 10. Well, now let's take a look at the progress of Southampton, whose recent form has been a revelation. And with or without Kevin Keegan, they've proved they're a most entertaining and free-scoring side. But in adding the England captain to his squad, Laurie McMenemy must have felt that it might just enable them to join the elite at the top. Well, to see how that dream's working out, let's join Alan Parry at the Dell.
The Dell isn't big enough to hold the crowds who want to see Southampton these days. And although injury has robbed them of Kevin Keegan for 14 games already, his presence has still been a major influence, as manager Laurie McMenemy readily agrees.
Everybody's disappointed for Kevin that he couldn't play every game since he's come here, but his contribution has been enormous insofar as we've attracted the attention. We've even got you down here today to talk about him. And we've had big gates wherever we've gone, so he's pulled them in, we've pulled them in away from home, and it's been a frustrating time for all of us because the extra criticism that's come on him personally, because of the fact that he hasn't been exactly what people expected. They haven't taken into account the injury, of course. That's been a period which we've all had to feel our way through, because like his injury, he's never had that to handle before.
Being injured, it's not just the handicap of being injured, it's the frustration not playing. And also the fact when you come back, your confidence is slightly gone, and you're naturally not match fit. But I've been lucky. I've come back into a very good side that's playing well, and had already had 6 games without defeat under the belt, and we've just been able to carry it on, which is nice, you know.
What about the criticism of Kevin that he spends too much time on his commercial activities?
Well, I'm sick of saying it, that it's not time spent on things. When the agreement was made for him to come here, I was given a complete list of everything he had in mind and that he was contracted to. And in fact, he doesn't spend that much time on it. It's his photograph or his signature, possibly. And his time away from the ground is very, very little on commercial things. And it's always in his time and not the football time.
But do you ever look back to that remark that I think Bill Shankly made about you once, that because of the way you live life to the full, you're in danger of burning yourself out as a top footballer by 1982 is the date he gave?
Well, I wouldn't like to argue with Shanks because he knows so much about the game and he's made so many predictions which at times sometimes you would disagree with, but at the end of the road they're right. But I would think the way I'm going at the moment, by the time I'm 45, I'm going to be burnt out, you know. I won't be playing league football.
And that will be a relief to First Division defenders. Keegan's reckoned to earn £250,000 a year outside football, but like other players, he also devotes much of his time to charity, like this party for handicapped children.
I used to say that the gang that I used to have here at one time had a particular affinity to sick animals. And, I mean, they didn't know they were sick when they put the money on mine, but this lot are different insofar as they go around to there's a school around the corner for spastic children, and they all go there. But all football clubs do that. But nobody ever refers to that and gets the balance when they're criticising people like Kevin.
Well, the game against Sunderland was the 6th in a row since Keegan overcame his most recent injury. He was switched to a new role in the centre of midfield. And as Sunderland found to their cost, Keegan's early form suggested that he's now almost back to his very best. Now Shannon. Williams has gone on a run in the inside right position. Keegan's on the far post too. And he picks him out beautifully. Here's Keegan. 1-0. And Kevin Keegan finishes in the impeccable manner we've come to expect. So simple for Southampton. The goal coming in the 14th minute. When the ball was clipped in from the right, Keegan spotted that Siddall had come off his line, prodded out a right foot, and that was enough to give Southampton the early lead that these fans at the Dell have come to expect. Flicked on by Moran. Here's Keegan again, but Elliott got in the way. Williams! Well, Stevie Williams was all at 25 yards when he hit that ball then. He's such a sweet right foot, it didn't matter the distance. He really got some power behind the shot, and it's as well for Sunderland that Siddall covered it. Straight at Nickel. Now Keegan. George. And Southampton playing some sweet football. Waldron down the left. George wanting it again, and Keegan. This is lovely stuff, and deserved a better finish than that. And Charlie George is the first to acknowledge that fact. Well, Southampton's flowing football continued, and a corner on the right was to give Sunderland even more problems. So another Southampton corner. Keegan's header! A splendid goal by Kevin Keegan. And the despairing leap by Whitworth on the line only forced the ball inevitably on into the net. 25 minutes gone, so simple again. The corner floated over from the right by Shannon. A wonderful flick header on the near post by Keegan, directed towards the roof of the net. Whitworth could only help it in. Keegan's goal, 2-0 to Southampton. What a start they've made. And Kevin Keegan provides the perfect answer to those who say that any activities he has off the field are denying him his full application to his skills on it. Here's Keegan, Golak free on the right, and he finds him. Williams in space, down the right flank. Plenty of men in the middle too, if he can pick them out. Golak wants it back on the edge of the box, gets it from Shannon. Here's Williams with the cross. Moran! Well, from the penalty spot, Moran really bulleting a header towards, but it looked as though it was going towards the top of that Sunderland net. In the event, it went just right. In the second half, Sunderland brought on their newest signing, Tom Ritchie, for his debut. And by tightening up in midfield, they managed to frustrate Southampton, who seemed to lose concentration. But there was nearly another great moment for Keegan. A long through ball coming up. And watch this blatant trip by Rob Hindmarch, the Sunderland captain, which really robbed Keegan of a chance to complete his hat-trick. And for that offence, Hindmarch was rightly booked. But Southampton weren't finished yet, and soon won yet another corner.
Oh, well, Moran was turning it, still not over at the top it is now. Moran had turned away, thinking that had gone in, and it looked as though it was going to as well. And Siddall somehow or other just got a fist to the ball, turned it onto the crossbar and then helped it over the net.
But as the game moved into the final minute, Sunderland were awarded a free kick close to Southampton's goal.
Bolton steps up and hits it straight at the wall. Rowell's chip. And it's in. Chisholm was on hand, and with that right foot shot from close range, he's suddenly given Sunderland a goal, and that's 2-1.
2-1 the final score. Keegan's goals brought Southampton another win and frustrated those who criticise his ability.
My only answer to the critics who say that is, they've said it before, they've said I'm a manufactured footballer, they've said there's players in England with far more ability. I've never argued with them. I just go out on a field and try and prove them wrong. And I think over the last 8 to 10 years, I've done that, and I shall continue to do that. So as long as there's critics around, I think there's a chance that I'll stay at the top a long time.
Well, it's perhaps sad how it's become fashionable these days to make heroes and then find reasons to knock them. Well, our last match comes from Highbury, where Arsenal met Coventry City, and the points were most important to both sides. To Arsenal, strangely out of both cups and eager for a place in Europe, and to Coventry, strangely in both cups, but still a fraction too near the relegation zone for comfort. Your commentator, Barry Davies.
Gordon Milne couldn't ask for a better yardstick for his young side than this fixture. After the euphoria of Tuesday evening, a league match with Arsenal is surely the perfect prelude to the cup tests in the capital to follow. And the Coventry lineup is that which came back from the dead against West Ham United, with surely the most bizarre hat-trick of the season being scored then by Gary Thompson. 1 for the opposition and then 2 for his own team. For Arsenal, this is their first competitive match at Highbury since December the 27th. They welcome back Brian Talbot there, and Alan Sunderland passed the fitness test this morning. But when we check their lineup, we see the absence of John Devine, who's been left out, and David O'Leary still troubled a little bit by a hamstring injury. And this is a fixture that Frank Stapleton will be looking forward to, because his record shows 7 goals in 9 matches against Coventry. And Jimmy Hill this afternoon swaps the role of expert and analyst for that of the committed spectator. Quite a crisp afternoon. The fog, for the moment at least, has drifted away. And Arsenal, having changed round, attacking the goal to our left. It's not the happiest of grounds for Coventry City. They've only won here twice in 13 attempts. And the last time was back in season 72-73. He's getting. John Hollins, who's moved from midfield to fullback in place of John Devine. Stapleton claiming it off Hunt, who claimed it off Talbot. Dyson to Gillespie. Surprised I didn't give a touch to Les Seeley there. Here's Thompson. Bodak way over to the right, and he's covered by Graham Ricks. Blair. A bit soft on this near touchline, as you can probably see. Blair is going to give a touch to Seeley. Kodak. Young preventing him pushing it and going down the line. Just stood his ground there, covered the area. That's for Haitley. He was a little unlucky. The difference in his height and that of Hollins, almost praying then for Coventry City. Nicely done by McDermott, the dummy to go and get it first time. That's a good ball by Kenny Sansom. Thomas across. Loses to Brian McDermott. And the goalkeeper and Dyson together. And Arsenal suddenly finding a bit of rhythm. But it's ended by the referee's whistle. McDermott really got things going then, robbing Danny Thomas, who shouldn't have been caught out like that. Young. Gillespie. McDermott. Gatting. Hollins has made the run on the far side, and the near is Sunderland. Talbot getting into the box. Plenty of Arsenal players forward here. Sunderland, here's Talbot, and there's Stapleton. Seemed to hang in the air a bit. Looked as though it was going to go further to Talbot. Fell comfortably for Stapleton. The goalkeeper went down also with some comfort to take it. McDermott. Thomas gets it right, and Arsenal have a corner. Again, the two central defenders have come forward. And Seeley knocks it away under some pressure. Here's Andy Blair. Kodak waiting to go. Daly coming behind, so is Haitley. And the corner at the other end. The players looking into the sun. This corner. Pat Jennings without cap. Met easily by Stapleton. Roberts telling Daly where to put it. Oh dear! And Arsenal saw the point as well. Walford. That's for Stapleton. Talbot! Yes! Combination from Arsenal. And significant that Steve Walford was there at the start of it. The long cross taken by Stapleton, held the header up, set it up for Brian Talbot to launch himself and open the scoring. And here's Ricks for Arsenal. Young. Turn by Roberts. And Ricks right on his own 6-yard line. Down by McDermott. Oh dear. Ricks gets up from his armchair, finds McDermott, who finds Hollins, who gets the second bite. Great ball. Took so much weight off it. He's gone on again. And Sanson, Talbot in possession. Finds Hollins. Young has come forward, so has Gatting, number 10. Sunderland. Every Arsenal player just about getting involved. There's header. Hunt. A few words from Walford. Thomas. Rick's nowhere near there, in truth. Blair. And again. Daly. Hunt. Haitley and Thompson down the middle. And Hunt does well. Walford met it. Haitley met it. Thompson off the line by Sanson after Walford had missed it. Bodak! Oh dear, what a succession of errors from Arsenal. Peter Bodak is the scorer. Well, he thoroughly enjoyed it. He was presented with the opportunity, the ball bobbing around in the air. Arsenal failing to clear their lines. And after Thompson didn't take his opportunity, Bodak took his. Right on the stroke of half-time. After an entertaining first half, the teams are level at 1-1. Coventry supporters who saw their team get the winner right at the death on Tuesday night see their team equalise at half-time on Saturday afternoon. Half-Gray all set to get us away on the second half. Coventry now attacking the goal to our left. And obviously buoyed by the late equaliser at the end of the first half. Second half opening quietly as the first half did. Sanson. Walford. Young feeling a knock there on just above the right knee. Dyson. Gillespie getting him out of trouble. Not for long. Hunt and Hollins. Sunderland. Plenty of room for Hollins. Stapleton. Well, I think the right expression is that Hollins hit Stapleton absolutely right on the point. And Stapleton not finding the header to match the cross. Gillespie. Bricks. Hollins. Stapleton. And he's kept up the record. Hollins goes to have a quick word with Ricks, and all three involved there were together. Ricks, who demanded in the midfield, and how good it was to see that. Found Hollins, who played it forward beautifully for Stapleton to turn, and to thump his 8th goal past Coventry in 9.5 matches, plus the what, about 14 minutes of the second half. Roberts. Stapleton to Talbot. Stapleton's gone down the middle, so has Kenny Sansom. Seemed to call. Stapleton says a bit lower next time. Hunt. Plenty of players right side for Coventry. And 3 against 2 in the middle, but it wasn't a good cross. Stapleton's 11th goal of the season, his 9th in the league. Hunt. Just enough flick to get it past back Jennings. And for the second time in the match, Arsenal had a lead wiped out. Goalkeeper with no chance. "66 minutes gone, 2-2 score. Here's Ricks. Gatting. Gatting again! Good save! No emotion on the bench. It was a good run by Steve Gatting in the inside left position. And it seemed to me that Seeley got down first and put a hand down second. Sansom. Ricks, presented with the ball by Blair, who changes his mind. Arsenal have an unbeaten home record. Maintain 1-2 of scoring in every match. Stapleton underneath it, and McDermott really spun well. And Seeley wasn't very pleased that he was allowed to turn. The shot went wide. And Steve Jacobs is coming into the fray. And it's Peter Bodak he replaces. Sansom once again making the run into the area. Walford. Hit pretty strongly, but well taken by Hollins. It's awkward. And McDermott with the line right on the line by the legs of Seeley. Seeley right down by his post. As the ball was flicked across the area, McDermott came in, and Seeley got right down by the post with his legs. Dyson looking for Haitley. In no position really to direct a header with Hollins in attendance. Ricks. Gillespie's rather hasty clearance gives away possession again. And here's Young! Seeley again with his leg. Feels the handball against Roberts, but the verdict is a corner. Walford has come up into the 6-yard box. Out by Blair. Gillespie. Oh, well played by Hollins. Spun it back to Ricks. That's curling in. Stapleton. A very hefty right hook applied by the keeper. Hollins. And 2 or 3 players offside. Hollins across, and Coventry City have passed the test with a 2-2 draw, which will undoubtedly satisfy them. But they needed a bit of help, and they got it in the end from the unlucky Steve Walford, whose back pass was collected by Jerry Daly, who goes off together with him, and that collection gave Coventry City a 2-2 draw.
Well, on the good side, that was a sporting game, refereed perfectly, without an ounce of malice anywhere. But although Arsenal's final flourish, which Coventry were rather lucky to survive, sent most people home happy, I thought particularly early on there seemed to be an absence of ambition or confidence. I'm not too sure which from both sides. And Coventry could well put it down to a hangover from last Tuesday. But I was left wondering about the validity of Arsenal's claim to an outside chance of the Championship. Sorry about that, Bob.
Well, I must admit that looking at the top of the First Division, the best Arsenal can perhaps now hope for is a place in Europe. They're level on points with Southampton and West Bromwich Albion, but 7 points behind the leaders, Ipswich and Aston Villa, who both won yesterday. The big shock, of course, was Liverpool's 2-1 defeat by relegation-threatened Leicester, who ended the champions' unbeaten home run of 85 games, which stretches back to January 1978. Today's reaction from the Liverpool camp, Ray Kennedy said you can't afford to let the gap at the top get as wide as we have. It looks as though the European Cup and the League Cup are the only competitions we can win. And manager Bob Paisley told me our defeat was a good example of complacency. I only hope it gets through to our players that in football there are no certainties, only uncertainties. Personally, I don't think the Championship is a 2-horse race, especially as Ipswich face such a heavy programme. And Villa could be without key defender Kenny McNaught for their difficult match at Everton next Saturday. Yesterday, McNaught, a former Everton player, required 8 stitches in the side of his left knee after a collision with Manchester City's Steve McKenzie. Villa's problem is that reserve centre-half Brendan Ormsby has a broken ankle, so if McNaught's injury doesn't heal quickly, they're likely to play teenager Noel Blake, who's made just 3 league appearances. By all accounts, Villa were a little fortunate to beat Manchester City 1-0. And there's news today of City's involvement in a complicated transfer triangle with Norwich and American club Seattle Sounders. It seems that Seattle hope to sign Steve Daly from City later this week, as well as acquiring Kevin Bond from Norwich in an exchange deal involving a Seattle player, whom we believe to be Steve Buttle, the former Bournemouth midfielder, who was also on Ipswich's books. Clearly, this deal would prevent Kevin Bond from joining his father at City this season, as predicted, but that doesn't mean to say he won't eventually end up at Main Road. It's certainly difficult to keep Manchester City out of the news just now, and although we can confirm that Nottingham Forest are the favourites to sign Justin Fashanu from Norwich in a cash plus player exchange deal, they may have to hurry, because City are also interested.
Well, now for the January Goal of the Month competition and a chance to win £100 of premium bonds if yours happens to be the first correct postcard drawing out of the bag. I'll tell you how to enter after we've seen the goals, starting with goal A scored by Paul Mariner for Ipswich against Aston Villa.
Well, you can feel the tension, but you can see the quality of football. Again, the wind helped a bit then. There's Brazil. There's Mariner! Watch.
Oh, what a spectacular effort it is there! Terry Cochrane scores one of the most spectacular goals of the season.
Now Shannon trying his luck on the left with Keegan on his outside. Oh, what a splendid goal by Mickey Shannon!
is Brook, and Hoddle, and Archibald. Yes!
By Leon. Away by Price. Wilson is in there with the overhead kick. Oh, I say, what a fantastic goal!
Williams has gone on a run in the inside right position. Keegan's on the far post too. He picks him out beautifully. Here's Keegan. 1-0.
Collins. Stapleton. And he's kept up the record.
Well, here's a check on those goals. Goal A, Paul Mariner. Goal B, Terry Cochrane. Goal C, Mike Shannon. Goal D, Steve Archibald. Goal E, Kevin Wilson. Goal F, Kevin Keegan. And goal G, Frank Stapleton. And you send your entry on postcards only, please, with your name and address on the left-hand side and your selections in 1, 2, 3 order on the right-hand side. And then you address the postcard to Goal of the Month, BBC Television, London, W12 8QT. That's Goal of the Month, BBC Television, London, W12 8QT. Well, this month's goals are going to test us all, including the panel who, like you, think long and hard before choosing their 1, 2, 3 order. And Bob and I feel we're already in trouble because we can't make up our mind, never mind the winner or the second or the third. So that's it. Once again, I wish you luck in that competition. And our thanks to the players and the officials for providing that very entertaining, and especially to Kevin Keegan for his 2-goal contribution to that hour, and proving once again that he's much nearer to being a saint than a sinner, as some people would have us believe. Good afternoon.
Now Shannon. Williams has gone on a run in the inside right position. Keegan's on the far post too. He picks him out beautifully. Here's Keegan. 1-0. So another Southampton corner. Keegan's header. A splendid goal by Kevin Keegan.